went 3 innings today, 52 pitches. Did you feel like you got what you wanted from today's performance?
Yeah, for sure. I've been working on my mechanics a little bit and felt much better with them. My velocity went up pretty dramatically. So yeah, I was good. It was good.
We noticed you were closing one of your eyes while you were pitching. For those who are new to seeing you pitch, can you explain what you were doing there?
Yeah, I figured if they can't score off me with one eye open, it's going to be difficult to score off me with 2 eyes open. So just having a little bit of fun.
Is there something like that you're looking at or in specific?
Yeah, there's definitely a reason behind it.
Hey Trevor, what was going on between do you want to share what's behind it?
If I wanted to share, I definitely would have already.
What was going on between you and Profar in the first inning? Was that?
Oh yeah, he just said it's gonna be fun to compete against you this year, and I kind of laughed and said, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. So we've played against each other for a long time. Obviously, being in the American League when he was with Texas and the whole deal. So I don't know him personally really off the field, but on the field we have a pretty good relationship. So just having fun.
Are you looking forward to a rivalry, essentially? I don't know that your other stops, those teams really have clear rivals.
Yeah, I mean, we had, in Cleveland, it was kind of Detroit early on, in the very early years, but yeah, for sure. I don't know much about it at this point. I haven't been here very long, but from everything I hear, it's going to be a fun series and a fun year. So the higher the stakes, the more excited I get, the better I usually do, so I'm all in on that.
Was this more than just another spring training game? Because fans are really into this matchup between you guys.
I'm just mad that Manny didn't make the trip. He's already ducking me.
Did you want some practice?
No, I just wanted to face Manny. I wanted to see him. I'm mad he's ducking me.
Hey Trevor, you've been pretty open about how much success he's had against you. Is that something is that a mental thing you have to get over? Is it something physical pitching to get over? Because you're going to see him 19 times.
Just
well,
wait.
Not 19, but...
Just wait. Just wait.
You got one eye for him?
Just wait. It's going to be a fun year.
Trevor, how much do you enjoy defense, especially with Justin Turner and Zach McKenzie?
That was a crazy play, both of them. Zach was in the right place and made a great play, and Justin obviously is spectacular down there. We've seen it already, 3 or 4 times already this spring, so, both of those probably should have been hits, and whenever you have defense that can turn hits into outs, it moves the game along, it helps outings, helps starters stay in longer, keeps runs off the board, and it's exciting to watch too. I turn around and I see him sprawling out. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. So I think I was more excited about it than he was. I think he kind of expects himself to make that play. Justin does, but it was fantastic.
Sorry, you hit 97. Who's talked about velo?
8.
Sorry. Was that something about feeling good, or is that kind of what you're trying to tap into?
Yeah, no, I think I was kind of working on my mechanics. Like I said, my lower half wasn't functioning quite right. My first outing. I was up to 96 in my first outing, and had better delivery, better mechanics today. So I was really pleased with that for sure.
And one more thing on the one eye thing: do you keep it closed the entire delivery, or is it before you throw the pitch?
It's when I do it, it's closed the entire time.
Profar made you work in that first at-bat, actual jam in the first inning. You like having those kinds of innings this early in camp? I don't get the juice flowing somehow or anything like that.
No, not really. I'd much prefer 9 pitches and 3 Ks. So, it's a little erratic. It generally takes me a little bit of time to kind of lock in at the start of a game early in spring, just because I don't have the number of innings under my belt, that I do when the season starts, where I can just hit the ground running from pitch 1. And so I challenged myself today too, and had my eye closed pretty much the entire first inning. So I like making myself uncomfortable and throwing different stuff my way and trying to find a solution for it. I think that's how you improve. You find a way to make yourself uncomfortable and get comfortable with it, and then do it again.
Hey Trevor, did you do anything different either during the shutdown last year or this offseason to account for the fact that you were going to have to make this pretty significant innings jump going from a 60 to a 162?
That's a good question. The way I view things, if you get back to your baseline level every start, so let's say you go out for a start and you're at 100%, if you get back to 100% before your next start, and you can do that consistently, start after start, then there's no, like, I don't think innings limits really matter a whole lot. Or like if I threw 60 last year and 200 this year. Now where it matters is if you're not getting back to 100% after every start. So if you go out there and you're 100 and then the next start you only get back to 99 and then you only get back to 98, and then you can kind of see that downward trend, and that's where it gets dangerous. But I monitor myself closely enough that I know exactly where I'm at every single day. And so if I'm not recovering quite well enough, I can kick in the recovery. If I am recovering well enough, I can get my work in to make sure that 2 months, 3 months from now, I still will be recovering well enough. So I'm not worried about that part of it at all.
So what's, not to oversimplify, but like what's key to that, getting back to 100% for your next start?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, if we could sit down for an entire master class on that. Strength, sleep, hydration, recovery protocols, and tendon strength, and mechanics, and energy level. Like there's so much that goes into it. So it's really hard to kind of distill down.
There's like a fear though throughout the industry that like pitcher injuries are going to jump even more so than they did during the short season last year. I'm sure like a lot of pitchers don't put as much into that kind of stuff as you do. Like, do you share those concerns just to people of yourself that like with this innings jump, you're going to see a spike like that, it's going to be a problem? Yeah,
100%.
Which eye were you shutting?
Oh, I went right eye closed today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's like a depth perception thing that maybe.
Yeah, definitely takes away depth perception. That's one of the things it does. So, yeah, that's fun.
How do the hitters feel about that?
Don't know. Might have to ask them. I have very limited experience getting hitter feedback while doing it. I expect a lot more this year.
How often do you do it?
I train that way every single day. So bullpens, long toss, live at bats in the off season, stuff like that. Like I said, I like making myself uncomfortable and finding new solutions and then doing it again. So all part of the process.
So going back to what Aldo was talking about, do you believe there is something to teams concerned about how to cover 1,500 innings?
I do. Yeah, I think it's I think it's going to be a problem. I don't know how significant of a problem. I would imagine teams are going to be conservative, and rightly so. So hopefully that minimizes some of the like result of it. Hopefully you don't see as many injuries just because of the conservatism on that end. But yeah, it's going to be like if the teams operated just as normal and they just threw their guys out there for the normal innings limits, I think it'd be a big problem.
Have you shared any of your thoughts on this with the other pitchers on your staff to try to help prevent that from happening here?
It's not my place. You know, if people come and ask me questions, I'll talk to them about it all day and share what I know, and hopefully it's helpful. But I'm not someone to go out of my way to tell others how to live their life or try to tell them what they should do or caution them about stuff. I'm a resource. I'm an open book. If people come and talk to me, I'll talk to them for however long they want about whatever they want. But I just don't feel it's my place to approach someone else and tell them how to live their life.
But ultimately, you think it's going to be a problem because I assume the pitchers are going to be pitching at uncomfortable fatigue levels that they're not used to.
Potentially, yeah. Like I said, I think teams are going to be wary of that, though, and account for it. And I think what you're going to see is teams that have a lot of starting pitching depth, a lot of pitching depth in their minor league system are going to handle it better because they'll be able to bring guys up and down and kind of manage that. That's why I feel like we're in a really good position. We have a lot of depth and a lot of guys that are really, really good. So I think I think this year is going to favor teams that have that depth and that approach it cautiously. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because I hope that I never want to see guys get injured. It sucks. That's one of my biggest passions in baseball, is trying to make the landscape better so players can play longer and be healthier and spend less time on the DL and stuff like that. It's one of the main reasons I track myself so closely, is hopefully in the future that becomes kind of the norm and players can get insight out of that to stay healthy. But yeah, I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but we'll see.
You think those middle months might be the toughest ones, like June, July, August, once you're getting past the...
I think so. Usually you see a lot of injuries early, and then you see kind of injuries late in the season. I think that those late injuries will move up a little bit just because of the fatigue. Again, hopefully I'm wrong. I don't ever want anyone to get injured. So, but that's probably where you'd see it, is for starting pitchers that threw 60 to 80 innings last year, you probably start seeing the fatigue in the 120, 130 inning range. But again, yeah, this is all just speculation. I don't know. I don't have any reason for feeling that way. It's just my intuition.